your host on this channel. In this video, we will have our discussion on the upcoming transit of planet Mars, which on May 17th is going to be entering the sign of Pisces, and it's going to be transiting over there till June 26th. So now friends, as you know, this thing that when we talk about the importance of the transit of Mars, it also holds lot of weightage because our drive, our energy, our willpower goes in the house where Mars is going to be transiting in our ascendant chart. Now friends, when we talk about specifically from the perspective of Pisces, so trust me, my personal observation on the transit of Mars or the natal placement of Mars in the water signs have always been doubtful. Like either we talk about Cancer sign where Mars gets debilitated, like when we talk about from Scorpio's perspective, so Scorpio Mars is beyond doubt, it's very strengthened, it's very intense, but again it all comes down to native's priorities and his attitude towards life, because trust me, Mars being placed in Scorpio holds a lot of potential to do damage to your own life. But let's say for example, if you are going to give the right direction to Mars's placement in the Scorpio, like a direction of compassion, a direction of research, a direction of creativity, then trust me, the energy of Mars in the Scorpio can actually manifest good results. And from the perspective of the Pisces, so now friends, try to understand this thing that Pisces is a very compassion, faith and optimism driven energy, which in a way completely contradicts the functioning of Mars. Mars, which is a planet of on your face, being very dutiful, being very driven, being very responsible, and the energy of Pisces is very compassion, very faith driven, very intuitiveness. So because of which, if you are not going to make the right use, if you're not going to give the right direction to Mars's placement in the Pisces, now whether it's gonna take place in your natal chart or whether it's going to take in the transit, it can actually give rise to the concerns of passive aggression, not being able to exert your energies at the right time, then kind of self-afflicting yourself, suffering in the silence. So this could give rise to all those kind of circumstances. But now friends, the beauty over here is that this year during Mars's transit in the Pisces sign, once it's going to enter over there, it's going to get conjunct with the planet Jupiter. So now friends, the combined influence or the energy of Mars and Jupiter in the Pisces sign can be seen as a very good sign. Like whatsoever Jupiter is currently doing in your life, basis your natal chart, because Jupiter's placement in the Pisces is all about granting you wisdom, granting you right direction. Jupiter, which in itself is the significator of opportunities, opening up new doors in your life. So whatsoever Jupiter is doing right now in your life, the entry of its good friend Mars in the Pisces sign is definitely going to add the thrust, enthusiasm, pioneering energy, confidence, degree and sense of optimism to all the functioning and the qualities of the Jupiter over there. So trust me friends, this combined influence of Jupiter and Mars in the Pisces can be seen as a very good news in any sphere of life, whether for you acquisition of knowledge and wisdom is the priority, or for you any of the growth in any of the material realm, like whether growth in your business, next level promotion in your job, or if you are in any way connected with the fields of philosophy, law, judiciary, or policing, military, all these kind of profiles. So this combined energy of Mars and Jupiter is definitely going to be giving some very good news to all of us. So okay friends, now we are going to shift our discussion to the customized ascendants. So now starting first with the Aries ascendant natives. So definitely friends, in your case, Mars's transit becomes always very important for you guys, because it is your ascendant lord, and your ascendant lord's transit in the 12th house, just because Jupiter is present over there, is definitely going to trigger or initiate some good results for all of you guys. Now friends, it all comes down to that right now in whichever sphere of life you are in, like are the 12th house related matters getting directly qualified in your case? Like are you trying for foreign residentship? Are you trying for admission in any foreign university? Like are you working in the fields of immigration, export import nature of work, in travel business? Are you anticipating some sort of very important foreign travel? So if 12th house related matters are directly or straight away getting qualified in your case, this transit or this entry of Mars in your 12th house can actually generate some very good results. Now friends, try to understand this thing that for all the Aries ascendant natives, like I will be very honest with you guys, even I am by myself is a Aries ascendant person, and ever since Jupiter has entered my 12th house, I'm actually seeing a lot of heightened interest in spirituality. I find myself giving more like doing all of my spiritual practices with heightened degree and sense of awareness and concentration. And trust me, during this time, ever since Jupiter has entered the 12th house, so I have also remained lucky in being accessible to lot of good reservoir or source of good wisdom and knowledge as well. So if in whichsoever way the Jupiterian's energy is right now working in your life, the entry of your ascendant lord in the 12th house is definitely going to add thrust to all of those potential. Now friends, we cannot even overlook this fact that for all the Aries ascendant native, Jupiter is a very important, it's the house lord of your fortune, it's your 9th house lord, and its conjunction with your ascendant lord is definitely going to give additional thrust to all the 12th house related matters. Now friends, with that said, all of these energies are only going to function in your life if only you are extracting the spiritual and benefic side of the 12th house. But let's say, for example, if in your lifestyle spirituality has no say, has no priorities, and your life is filled with hedonism, too much extravagant lifestyle, then trust me, this entry of Mars in your 12th house can actually or suddenly give rise to lot many expenses. So those are the areas where you have to remain bit cautious or being in complete control. Now friends, when I say from the perspective of the danger or risk on the account of hidden enemies and from all those people who are envious of your success and all of that, so I'm not looking all those possibility, because Jupiter's presence in the 12th house is definitely protecting you from all of your enemies. So now friends, I'm going to summarize this result for all the Aries ascendant native is that anything to do with the 12th house related matters, like regarding foreign involvements, foreign dealings, or anything to do with the spiritual knowledge and acquisition of wisdom, any sort of pilgrimage, if you are planning. So trust me, this entry of Mars and time period till June 26th can be seen as very auspicious for all the Aries ascendant natives. Now friends, moving ahead, now for all the Taurus ascendant natives. So now friends, in your case, as you can fairly see that Mars is going to enter your 11th house, which can be seen as a very good sign. So now friends, because in your case, Mars has got the rulership of your, like it has also got the rulership of the 12th house, but most importantly, it has got the rulership of your 7th house. Now from the 7th house, we see all sort of, public dealings, all sort of business, commercial dealings, and also this is the house of your relationship as well. So Jupiter being well placed in your 11th house of wish fulfillment and 7th house lord going in the 11th house. Trust me, I cannot indicate any better time for you to find the right prospective match for yourself. Also friends, like even from the perspective of initiating some new project, working on some new ideas, or like if you are in that stage of your life, you are planning to expand or scale up your existing nature of work or business, you want to apply for a new role, new job. So I would say that stars seems to be working a lot in your favor, because as you can fairly see, because see your ascendant lord Venus is going to be placed here in your 11th house till May 23rd only, then it's going to move to your 12th house. But even the entry and the presence of Jupiter in your 11th house and with the entry of Mars in the 11th house, I can fairly say this thing that for anything to do for the acquisition of knowledge, for encashing on your network, on your friend circle, or the support which you can expect from your friends, from your influence, and for all those people who are single, awaiting to get into any matrimonial tie or find the right person prospective match. So this transit or this entry of Mars in your 11th house can be seen as a very good sign. And also friends, when we talk about the combined energy of the Mars and Jupiter, so this is generally seen as a very adventurous, being very confident, completely in command, going out for all the social activities, group activities, lot many invitations, spending quality time with your friends and all of that. So from all of those perspective, this entry of Mars in your 11th house can be seen as a very good sign. And trust me friends, if your occupation or your livelihood is straight away connected with the 11th house related matters, like working in the PR agency, working in the fields of marketing, or you work in some big multinational corporations and all of that. So definitely you are going to get benefited because of the entry of Mars in your 11th house. Your social circle, your public image definitely going to get enhanced during this time. Moving ahead, friends, now for all the Gemini rising natives. So now friends, in your case, definitely Mars is not a very important planet for you guys, but its entry in the 10th house is definitely going to initiate or trigger some very good news for all of you guys. Because now friends, you have to understand this thing, that in any case, when we talk about our daily work life and all of that, so we always give attention to the 6th house and the 10th house. So 6th house lord entering your 10th house and getting conjunct with a well-placed, dignified Jupiter over there is definitely going to give thrust to all of your professional matters. Now, I would say that, let's say for example, you have been working hard from past so long time and you just want to speculate on some next level, some new responsibilities. So this could be seen as a very good time, like, because merely and individually, even the Jupiter's presence in the 10th house in itself is a sign of expansion, new doors, new opportunities opening up for you. And with the entry of Mars over here, so all what you need is that if you think that you have sown some right seeds and you have done justice to all of your work and all of your responsibilities, so with this entry of Mars in your 10th house and with the combined influence of Jupiter, be at your best, feel confident, feel optimistic, and make best use of this time. Now, whether you have to ask for any leadership role, you want to ask for a raise, or you want to look out for new opportunities, new prospects, so trust me, this entry of Mars in your 10th house can be seen as a very good sign. And specifically, like friends, for all those people who are in any way, whether you are connected with the fields of law or politics or athletics or sports, any so ever fields where either you are working with your craft, with your skill, where there is a lot of dispute management, arbitration is involved. So 6th house lord going in the 10th house in itself means all of your hard work and competitive spirit is going to give an additional edge to you, and you might be in a winning side during this transit of Mars in your 10th house. Only one thing I want to say over here is that although Mars is not agitated, but still try not to get into that argumentative side with your bosses. Moving ahead, friends, now for all the Cancer rising natives. So now friends, in your case, Mars is a very important, it's a Yogarka planet for you guys, and its entry in the 9th house can be seen as a very good sign. Now friends, try to understand this thing, that in any case, Jupiter is very well placed in your 9th house of your luck, of your fortune. I don't know how much energies you are putting in right now in terms of your mantra, your daily prayers, a visit to church or temple or mosque or any of the place of religious significance, because trust me, Jupiter being well placed in the 9th house is all about putting lot of entries in your spiritual bank account. So I would say that this entry of Mars is definitely going to give an additional thrust to it. So if religious austerities is an utmost important priority for you, so Mars's entry over here will definitely give you chance for initiating and taking steps in all of those areas. The second thing is that friends, definitely if 9th house related matters are getting qualified in your case, in any ways you are undergoing PhD or MBAs or higher studies, anything to do with artistic and creative endeavors, because Mars also has got the rulership of your 5th house as well. Also friends, like for all those people who are working in the fields of banking, of judiciary, you are a teacher, you are a lecturer, or anything to do with publishing, like launching a book or signing up some contract and agreement. So this entry and this presence of Mars in your 9th house being your Yogarka planet can be seen as a very good sign. So trust me friends, because in any case, like 5th house lord going in the 9th house, it's all about your brain, your mentality, your thinking process is going to be very optimistic, is going to be very much divine protected. So I would say that apart from all the material and tangible things associated with the 9th house, try to undertake some religious and spiritual and doing religious and spiritual austerities as well during this time, because in the transit right now, planetary placement is indicating very good luck for all the Cancer rising natives. Moving ahead friends, now for all the Leo rising natives. So now friends, in your case, the entry of Mars in your 8th house, had it been just all alone Mars going over here, or Mars is getting conjunct with Venus in the 8th house, I would have given more emphasis to the passionate side of this transit. But trust me, with a well placed divine presence of Jupiter in your 8th house and the entry and conjunction of your Yoga planet Mars in the 8th house, it's only going to trigger or give push to the benefit and positive results connected with the 8th house. Like if in your case your life is straight away connected with the 8th house related matters, anything to do with banking, with insurance, with taxing, with revenue, or occult fields or immigration business, travel business, so trust me friends, all those people are going to get benefited. Also friends, like when we talk about your 4th house lord going in the 8th house, so I would say that definitely deep inside you will be like very much religiously or spiritually oriented and driven during this time when Mars is going to enter your 8th house. I will not recommend this to be a very important and auspicious time for you guys to take any important decision connected or connected with the buying a home or real estate related matters, because after this Mars is going to enter your 9th house, which can be seen as a right time for taking those initiatives or those steps. But trust me friends, apart from the property or real estate connected decisions, for all other aspect of life, when we talk about your mind being very much religiously driven, taking and getting deeper into the probing of any important matters of your life, so from all of those regard, this entry of Mars in your 8th house can be seen as a very good sign. Now friends, the only thing which I said is that for buying a new property you have to wait. But let's say for example, if you're already going through some sort of litigation and all of those matters are connected with property related dispute or any sort of litigation connected with the property related matters, so over there this entry of Mars in your 8th house and its conjunction with Jupiter can give rise to result coming out in your favor. So from that perspective, this entry of Mars in your 8th house can be seen as a good sign. And also friends, like for all those people who are planning for some sort of travels and any of the concerns of immigration, if also that is getting qualified in your case, so things can take a positive leap or in your favor during this time when Mars is going to be passing from your 8th house. Moving ahead friends, now for all the Virgo rising natives, so now friends, in your case, as you can fairly see that already Jupiter is well placed in your 7th house. Over and above that, the entry of your 3rd house lord in the 7th house is definitely going to give an additional thrust to all of your 7th house related matters. Now friends, specifically when we talk from the perspective of if your occupation, your livelihood is straight away connected with the fields of social media, marketing, journalism, blogging, publishing, writing, so I would say that all those people are going to get benefited because of the entry of Mars in your 7th house, because in any way 7th house is 10th house from the 10th house, which is considered as the house of higher position or power. So from that regard, this transit can be seen as a very good sign. Now friends, two very heavy planets are going to be transiting from your 7th house. So the matters connected with your marriage or your relationship, try not to be very spontaneous, try not to be very quick to come to any conclusion or acting little bit judgmental in the matters of your relationship. That is one thing which I want to say over here. Now friends, I have already explained for the commercial aspect, this transit or this entry of Mars can be seen as a very good sign. You're working on some new ideas, you're planning to launch some product, you're already working in the fields of politics or connected with the fields of mass media. All those people can get benefited only in the matters of your existing relationship. Two very heavy planets being present, and Mars is a planet of impulse, and Mars is not a very auspicious planet for your lagna, for your ascendant. So because of which, try not to be very spontaneous, very quick or very headstrong in the important decisions of your relationship. Moving ahead friends, now for all the Libra rising natives. So now friends, in your case, Mars is a very important planet for you guys because it has got the rulership of your 7th house of relationship, of commercial activities, and 2nd house of your finances, your speech and your family. And in transit, Mars is going to enter your 6th house. So now friends, this transit of Mars in your 6th house can be seen as good in this regard that because of the presence of a well-established Jupiter over here, Mars is definitely going to give more push and thrust to all the benefic qualities of the planet Jupiter over here. So definitely you will come across as someone who is very hardworking, someone who is very reliable, someone who is very competitive, and also if you are on a mid management level, so you will be able to demonstrate or exert your authority with complete perfection. Now friends, I would say that this transit is little bit vulnerable in this regard, that Mars's entry in the 6th house is never considered as a very good sign for lending your money to someone. So if in your your occupation, livelihood, or your nature is so friendly that you cannot say no to anyone, so during this time you have to remain little bit practical and realistic if someone is going to ask any money from you. The second thing is that friends, like when we talk about 6th house related disputes and all of that, so just because Jupiter is already well placed over here, and with this entry of Mars in the 6th house, so let's say for example if you're already going through any sort of lawsuit or any of the concerns of the litigation or any sort of competition or enemies, any issues on account of them, so over on those issues, the entry of Mars and its conjunction with the Jupiter can actually make things favorable for you. So some sort of relief, some sort of positive leap can be expected in all the lawsuit related matters if that is getting qualified in your case. Moving ahead friends, now for all the Scorpio rising natives, so now friends, in your case Mars is your ascendant lord, and the transit of the ascendant lord in the 5th house is always considered as a very good news. So now friends, just because when we talk about the significations of the 5th house, so not only 5th house has got lot of importance from the spiritual perspective, because this is the house of your devotion towards your favorite god, your Ishta Devta. This is the house of yoga, meditation, mantra siddhi. But at the same time, this is also the house of travels, adventure, entertainment, rejuvenating activities. So definitely friends, Jupiter in itself, its presence in the 5th house can give rise to all those entertaining and relaxing and fun side of activities as well. And with the entry of your ascendant lord coming over here in the 5th house, so trust me, it is going to actually manifest its benefit and positive side in all areas of life. Now friends, it all comes down to what is getting qualified in your case, because I always say this thing, that when we compare this trine house with 9th house only has more of the wisdom, learning, higher learning, or devotional or religious side attached to it. But 5th house also has got an entertainment side or entertaining side attached to it as well. So relying on your priorities, if you are a person who is very much devoted towards adventure, outdoor activities, so definitely this entry of Mars is going to give you lot many opportunities to go for camping, go for hiking and all those activities. Let's say for example, if in your line of work, entertainment, working in the fields of media, being an actor, being a musician, being a screenwriter, if all of that is getting qualified in your case, trust me, you can actually make some very good work, create some very good content during this time. Some sort of opportunities can also come your way. Or when we talk about even from the devotional and spiritual perspective, so this entry of Mars in your 5th house is definitely going to give an additional thrust in your spiritual progress, in your spiritual activities. And also friends, like even if we have to look at it from the perspective of return on investment, working in the fields of speculation, stock market, trading, so definitely friends, your ascendant lord's placement and its conjunction with Jupiter over here is going to make things work in your favor. Moving ahead friends, now for all the Sagittarius rising natives, so now friends, in your case Mars is going to enter your 4th house. Now friends, as you know this thing, that obviously your ascendant lord is well placed over here in your 4th house, but Mars in your case has got the rulership of the 12th house as well, and Mars's entry in any of the house connected with our emotions, our feelings, can actually trigger all those things. So I would say that definitely in the domestic matters there will be heightened degree of sensitivity. So only if things are under control, then it's fine. But let's say for example, if there are some sensitive events or circumstances which you are currently facing, you are currently going through, then you have to maintain your calm during this time, because Mars can suddenly instigate the emotions. Now friends, the benefit side of this transit is that definitely Mars is connected with the fields of construction, real estate, all those people who are realtors or anything to do with the architecture, interior decor, luxury business, buying and selling of vehicles and all of that. So if all those things are getting qualified in your case, this entry of Mars in your 4th house can actually give you some opportunities, good profits, good return on investment can be foreseen with this entry of Mars in your 4th house. Moving ahead friends, now for all the Capricorn rising natives, so now definitely friends, in your case as you can fairly see that Mars is going to be entering your third house. So now friends, the entry or the transit of Mars in the third house is always considered as a very good news, because Mars is also the karaka or significator of the third house. So its entry in your third house is definitely going to make you more empowered, more confident in all of your endeavors. Now friends, you have to understand this thing, because Jupiter is already well placed over here. Third house just tells about how driven we are in life, how focused we are towards our goal attainment, and for anything to do with initiating some new steps, working on some new ideas, taking some important meetings, meeting some new people, ringing up all those contacts, all those people whom you think can actually play some very important role. So now, whether you are connected with the fields of sales, media, marketing, journalism, you are a freelance person, you are a self-employed person, so all those people can get benefited during this entry of Mars in your third house, and with the combined influence which is getting generated because of the presence of Jupiter and Mars in over your third house. Friends, I just want to say one thing over here, that because of two very important planets right now transiting over here in your third house, so socialization is one thing, like the way some wise person has once said that formula of failure is to please everyone. So okay, it's good to be social, being always accessible to other people's needs, but that should not compromise on your priorities or your goals. Moving ahead friends, now for all the Aquarius rising people, so now friends, in your case Mars is going to be entering your second house. So now friends, as you know this thing that Mars is a very kind of an important planet for you guys, because it has also got the rulership of your 10th house, the house of your profession and career. So 10th house lord coming over here in your second house can be seen as a very good sign in this regard, that to be honest, for all those people who are working in the fields of technology, engineering, you are working in any sort of family business, or you are a freelance person, self-employed person, so definitely all the hard work which you have been putting in, its return might come in the form of appreciation, in the form of some financial reward or some sort of financial raise. And definitely friends, the only vulnerable side of this transit is that Mars's entry in the second house, even in the transit, many times makes the speech little bit harsh, or just too much competition within the family members, or heated energy coming in the matters of your close knit people who are very close to you. So only if you can work on all those areas, like not getting into arguments or debates, or being very much self-critical, only if you can work on all those areas from the financial perspective, or taking some important decision connected with your professional sphere, this transit or this entry of Mars in your second house can be seen as a very good sign. Also friends, if in your line of work, speaking, public speaking, or like me, content creation, public speaking, if that is an integral part or part of your line of work, so this entry of Mars is definitely going to add that flair, that thrust, and that degree and sense of confidence in your presentation skills. And lastly friends, for all the Pisces rising natives, so now friends, in your case Mars is going to be entering right over there in your first house, so you have too much of the positive energy which is coming right over there on your head. So Jupiter, which is already well placed over there in your first house, and with this entry of Mars can also be seen as a very good news, because friends, in your case Mars is a very auspicious planet for you guys. It has got the rulership of your 9th house. So now friends, it in itself is creating this kind of alignment that you have to understand this thing individually. It hardly matters which house rulership Jupiter has got in your chart, basis your ascendant, basis your moon sign. Jupiter in itself is the significator of fortune, and over and above that, the energy of your 9th house is also coming over there in your first house. So I would say that you cannot await any better time for initiating any important decision, because luck is definitely supporting you right now. So whether you want to start something, or you want to launch something, or for anything connected with the matters of training, or sharing wisdom with the world, with the people, if your line of work, nature of work involves, if all of that is getting qualified in your case, so definitely friends, all of your hard work, your knowledge will get appreciated during this time. So friends, these two planetary energy in your first house is definitely asking you to take important decision, take the steps during this time. And also friends, like for any of the important lifetime event perspective, this transit of Mars in your first house can support you in all of those endeavors. Now whether you are in that stage of your life, you're looking out for a partner for yourself, for anything to do with expanding the family, or if you are in that age that you are looking out for the partners for your children, or any of the concern of starting a business or foreign residentship, so any important decision, if that is getting qualified in your case, or let's say for example you are in that stage that you're looking out for some foreign university admission, or you are holding some important political seat, or you are about to appear for any important competitive exam, or you are awaiting some sort of promotion. So for any of the important lifetime events, this entry of Mars in your first house can be seen as a very good sign. And I would say that friends, this is also one aspect of looking at or studying this transit is that the divine grace and luck is helping you, favoring you, but it also asks from you that your religious practices and discipline in all of your religious practices has to be very perfect, has to be very immaculate during this time when all of these important houses are currently activated in your life. So this is something friends which I wanted to say as a part of my inputs for this upcoming transit of Mars in the Pisces sign on May 17th. For further more updates and notifications on the divine signs of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my Facebook page. Dhanyavad.